Hey guys, Jason, Backup Tactical. For my work, I work and make parts for Glocks, SIG P320s. That's what I do all day. I handle those guns, I test those guns, I shoot those guns, try all the different parts we're making and working on. In my leisure time, when I get to shoot, I want to shoot something else. And what I have gravitated towards over the last bunch of years have been 1911s and mostly, as of late, 2011s. And what I found was that this particular gun, the Staccato P, the all steel version for me, was the fastest and flattest shooting of the guns I was coming across, whether they be 1911, 2011, whatever it was, and even comp 1911s, I found this to be a flatter and faster shooting gun. And again, we all can't overemphasize the importance of fast and accurate follow-up shots when it comes to competition, when it comes to self-defense, when it comes to duty, whatever it is. You want a gun that's going to shoot accurately and quickly and is going to stay on target and not come off target in between shots because of recoil. And I even went so far as to have ports installed on this particular Staccato P, and I have several of them like it. And I found this is what I shot best, and this is what I was always shooting. And I wound up putting 40,000 rounds through a variety of Staccato Ps. And I said, look, I can't just shoot Staccato Ps. This is ridiculous. I wanted to try to find an alternative to the 2011 that was affordable. I mean, look, to get a good 2011 starting, you're talking about, a few $1,000s easy. And it's just not practical for everyone. So I think under $1,000 is, you get what you pay for usually. If you want a good quality gun that's going to last and it's going to remain accurate and on target and not fall apart on you, I think it's not unreasonable to think about spending a little under $1,000. Although there are some great guns out there for $500-600. Don't get me wrong, and that's my world where I do all my work, and so I have no problem with that world. Um, that said, I wanted to find an alternative to the 2011 that was under $1,000 that I could shoot, and I wouldn't just shoot the Staccato Ps. It was getting, you got to mix it up a little. But the guns I was finding, I was not enjoying at all. And I wound up, the last three, for instance, it was an FN high power, the new FN high power. Well, that, while it is, it's a nice gun, don't get me wrong. The trigger, the single action trigger, still suffers from the original problem that the original Browning high power did. The reset's really long and it's not audible, it's barely tactile, and it's still the same. So it's not, the trigger just winds up ruining it for me. So that didn't work out. The next I tried an M&P, a ported one, a performance center version, 9mm, it came ported from the factory, whatever. And that started out promising, but had some issues, and it just wound up not being the gun for me. And I moved on from that one. Uh, I then said, and I wanted to for a while, but they were over $1,000. I wanted to try one of these SIG P226 Legions that are single action only. See the single action only Legion? So you know it's safe. Uh, it's been wanting to get my hands on one of these for a while and spend some time with it. So I finally had an opportunity to pick one up. They discontinued the ones without the optic plates this removes for the put different optics and optic plates on there. These are discontinued, and you could find them for under $1,000 now, and especially used, you could do mighty well. And I knew I was going to put a tons of round through it, so it didn't matter if I bought it used and it already had some rounds through it. I didn't care. So I got a decent used one, and this is it. I found it. This is the affordable version of a 2011. I wanted to get into all those single action CZs, but those can get just as pricey as 2011s. And when I get in that world, I'm going to choose the 2011 over the CZ. So that's why I'm not focusing on those. And I wound up here. And they did a great job with this single action trigger. It's the closest thing that I have found to a 1911, 2011 single action trigger. Um, the safety works great. It's muscle memory. It's just like the safety in the place and position on the 2011. The pointability of this gun is just as good as the 1911, 2011. It might even point a little better. In fact, Navy SEALs for many, many years, and I believe they still do, have used the P226, but not the single action version, the double action, single action, which I just don't do. I'm a single action trigger guy. That's just what works best for me, and it's because it allows the fastest possible reset and ability to get on target as quickly and accurately as possible. So, single action trigger guy in my personal life. Anyway, I've been pretty impressed with this SIG so far. Um, it's this has an alloy frame, but the weight difference is only 3 ounces between the two guns. So the weight of this gun keeps it on target. It doesn't come off target that bad. And this points so naturally, this gun. It has amazing pointability. And this hump here really keeps you locked down from, it keeps the muzzle rise down. You really lock in this gun nice in your hand. And this hump will help you a lot. You'll find when it comes to recoil reduction. Um, and I shoot this gun almost as well as I do my staccato P. It's not quite as good, and it's not quite as accurate, but it's close. And for the price, it's a great alternative. I can't recommend this gun enough. I really like this gun, and I've really enjoyed shooting it in my free time when I'm not shooting for work. So I'm glad I finally found what I was looking for in terms of something that's fun to take to the range. That's not a staccato P or a 2011, but that's close and is enjoyable to shoot. Here it is, the P226 Legion, single action only.